Hello guys, javadhamidi here. In this video we are going to learn how to create and simulate kinetic panels or kinetic walls in Revit, and we are going to randomize their opening with Dynamo like this. As you can see on the screen, we have kinetic walls or kinetic panels, or in general we name them kinetic buildings, which are the buildings that they can change their appearance to serve as a different purpose, as a different space for different usage. But how we can create these kind of panels, it's not that hard and it's really easy, and we're going to learn them in here. The first step is to create a family environment. Go to new here, and from here on family, select the standard that you use. I'm going to use English, and in here I'm going to use metric curtain panel, which is curtain wall. This is the one that I want. Curtain panel pattern based. Click on open. We have the family environment that we want. First, the first step in this family is select the pattern, and in here change it to triangle, because the pattern that we want to create is triangle. Let me put it on triangle. And we have the point, and let's set the numbers accordingly. It's parametric, and we can change the parameters after this, but it is better to have a short range, not a really big range in numbers. So for example, for horizontal, let me put it on 300, and for the vertical, let me put it on 600 millimeter, and that's great. Or you can put it on something bigger. Let me put it on 600 and 1200. That's great. The next step is to create some lines for it. To do that, we have two lines in here to divide this one to another dimension. Okay, let's create a point in here. Let's create a line between these two, but before that we need to create a point at the middle of this line, and then I need to select this one and this one, and I need to create a line between these two, and we have the lines, but I'm going to put it on reference line. It is better. And then we have the base for our parameter. Then we need to place another point on this line. It's gonna be on drawn face, for example, in here. And for the measure from and for the normalized curve parameter, we need to parameterize this parameter, and we need to create a parameter for it, because it's really important. We want to connect these two and these two with this, so they are going to help us. Okay, that's great. And let me create a parameter for this one, and let's put it on instance, and let's name it, for example, shape index. Okay, that's great. Click on OK and OK, and then create some lines with this one. But we don't want to create some lines with it. We want to create another point on this work plane, and we want to connect that with this point. To do that, let's click on set, and let's set the work plane and this at the top of this point, and select the point. And in here, make sure to put the point creation method on drawn work plane, and let's place a point in here. Click on OK, and let's bring the central point up, and we need to create a parameter for its offset, for its height. Let me put it on instance, and let me name it OP1. Okay, that's great. Click on OK and OK. This is our point that will drive other points we have in here, we have in here, and we have in here. So make sure to watch here carefully. Set the work plane on this side of this plane, and let's place a point on this one. Make sure this is on drawn work plane, and let's place a point. Click on OK, and select that one and bring it in here. We want to connect this one, and this one, and we want another one for here, and this point will drive all of them by itself. Okay, that's great. Let's set the we have set our work plane. Let's place another point on this work plane, and let's bring it something like in here. And for these two, we need to create different parameters, because one of them are minus number, and another one is plus number. So we need to create two different parameters for them. Let's bring it in here, and that's the point that we want with minus number. Okay, let's create a parameter in here, and let's create a parameter. Let me name it OP2 or OP-2 or OP21. Let me put it on instance, and let's create another parameter for this one, and let's call it OP2.2. Okay, let's create another 2.2 and put it on instance 2. Click on OK and OK. This is the basic shape that we have, but we need another point in this direction. So let's set our work plane on this side of this point, and let's place a point in here. Make sure it is on work plane, and click on OK, and bring the point out of here, and click a parameter for this one. Let me name it OP3, and let me put it on instance, and that's great. Click on OK and OK. And now we have all of the points that we need for ourselves. To create our panels and our main panels, we need an adaptive family for these parts, for each of these sub element panels. Okay, so let's go to a file menu, and let's create another family environment, which is gonna be metric generic adaptive. Let me put it on list. Metric generic model adaptive. That's right. Click on OK. We have we want a 3-point adaptive family. So let me place 3 points. Their direction is not that important. Just select them and make them adaptive 1 through 3. And let's select them 2 by 2. And let's create lines between them. For this one too. And let's select all of these lines and make them reference, and let's create a surface on them. To do that, click on this one, and let's create a parameter for its material too. Put it on instance, and let me name it on mat. Click on OK, and we are good to go. And then let's load this one to this one. Now let's place our adaptive families 1, 2, and 3, and 1. That's great. This is the thing that we want. And now let's create a glass part in here too. Let's select all of them. Let's create a glass part at the beneath of these 3 panels. But this is the main part that we want to link these parameters together. Right now, when I change this one, for example in here, the other ones doesn't change. I want to change all of them, and I want to close and open our family. To do that, let me create another parameter for myself, which is gonna be opening or open. Let me put it on instance. That's great. This is a number that we need, and let's assign these numbers according to this one. Let me put it on, for example, 200, and for the OP1, let me put it on opening, and for here we need a minus number, so we are going to tell to Revit opening multiple by -1, and for the third one we need the exact number, and for the third one we need the exact number too. Then click on OK, and now let's check our family to see the result. As you can see right now, the family closes and opens with this parameter. Let's assign some materials to it. For example, let me assign this one. Let's create a parameter for this one to metal, and click on OK. And for the glass part, let's create another parameter which is glass. Click on OK, and let's assign. We will assign materials in the project, and let's see the dimensions again. 600 and 1000, 1200. Let's create a let's go to the mass environment, or you can use them in your project, and let's create a surface in here. For example, let's create a surface in here, and let's make a form by it, and let's divide it something like this. Let me divide this one, and let's put it on triangle mode, and let's assign our distances something like 600 to 1200. You can change them manually. I just want to make sure the dimensions are equal, but you can use any dimension you want. That's not the part. For example, I don't like this, so I'm going to change our dimensions, especially for the vertical part. Let me put it on something bigger, not that one, maybe 500. That's maybe 800. Let me put it on something bigger. That's great. Let's assign our parameters to it to see the results. We need to wait, and we have our rectangles, and you can see with different dimensions we have different results, and you can put it on overhang or empty to prevent from any bad results, and we will see exact numbers of panels you need to place in here. But let me put it on something bigger. Okay, that's great. And now this is the part. You can select each of them, and you can change the opening manually. For example, like me put it on, let's put it on something like 500, but we want to make them randomized by Dynamo to make it much better. Okay, now we have our Dynamo and our surface side by side. Let's make our graph. First of all, we need to select all of these families. To select them, go to the Revit part, and in selection part we need to select all elements of family type, and we need family types too. And for the family type, let me select this one to see the exact family type that we have. It is family 1, and let me put it on family 1, and then connect this one to this, and we have 105 panels in here. Or we can put these numbers to something smaller to prevent from any heavy calculation. After selecting all of your family, let me place them in here, and let's group them and name them family selection, and let's create another part of a graph, which is creating a random list. To do that, let's create a code block which is going to be between one, which is a complete close panel, and something like 400, and we want numbers. We want a specific numbers of numbers, so I'm going to put something like 8 in here, and then I want to connect this one with this, but before that I need to count the number of this list to have the exact thing that we want. Okay, that's great. Connect this one to this, and this is gonna give the exact numbers that we have in here, and then we need to connect this one with this. This is the number of elements that we will need to get from this one, but before that we need to create a shuffle in here too, to shuffle this list and to make them randomized. And at the end we need to set this parameter to this family. So let's bring the set parameter by name node in here. The elements are these panels, and the parameter name was this. Let me put them on in quotation. That's great. What's the problem? We need to put double quotation. Okay, that's great. And let me bring it in here. Let me put it on manual, and let's connect the list of numbers to the value part. And let me bring it in here, and let's run our script and see the results. We have a problem in here, which is, oh, the name of the parameter is not right. So let's go to the parameter of this family. This was the previous family, so it was open, sorry. Let me rename the parameter in here, and let's run let's put the quotation mark in here, and let's run the graph again and see the result. Okay, this is the result that we get, but the difference between the biggest number and the lowest number is too high. Let me put it on something lowest, or let me put it on between something like 30 and something like 100, and let's see the results again. It will be much better. As you can see, the result is much better, and this is the thing that I want. And you can see the randomize numbers in here. You can change these numbers very easily because it is fully parametric, so you don't have any limitation here. I hope this